Hi, this is Finzel. Today I want to talk to you about 4 key questions that every follower asks. If you're a leader, if you're a manager, if you're in any kind of leadership role where you have other people that look to you, probably the most important 4 questions you could ever understand are these questions that every follower asks. And it's important as a leader for you to crawl inside their heart and in their head and understand where they're at, because I think that's effective leadership, when we can lead people because we understand them. And I have found in my 30 years of leadership, these are universal. These are 4 questions every follower asks. Number 1 question, what am I supposed to do? That's just the clarity of the beginning. Now that can be big and that can be small. Big, it's your job description. It's your position description. I want to know what I'm being held accountable for. I want to know what I'm being paid for. I want to know, the followers asking the leader, what do you want from me? Why have you hired me? Why have you recruited me? What do you want me to do? So in the big arena, it's a job description, a position description. Now, I don't like stagnant, bureaucratic job descriptions. I kind of like position descriptions, and I think they should be 1 page. But basically, it's the expectation of what the leader's expecting of this person on the team. Now, on a micro level, it's a project. If you delegate a task, an assignment, a responsibility to somebody, the first question that follower asks is, what do you want me to do? Say, for example, I need a whole new part of our website devoted to promoting this new program. Well, can you just tell me as much as I don't want you to tell me how to do the job. I don't want you to tell me the nuts and bolts, but I want you to, the followers asking the leader, give me a vision. What is it you want to see? When I'm done producing this whole new section of our website, promoting this program, tell me what'll make you happy, what'll make you satisfied that I've done a good job. So, very first question every follower asks is, what do you want me to do? Second question, will you let me do it? Will you let me do it? Now, what's that about? That's about giving authority with responsibility. Will you let me do this? Or are you going to be a micromanager? You know, I just read a survey today that 55% of people say they're less productive when they work under micromanagers. So will you let me have the freedom to work on this and to do it my way? And we'll have some checks and balances, but will you let me do it? Very, very important. People are so discouraged when you assign a task or you give them a responsibility and you're constantly looking over their shoulders and you have all these things attached and you're smothering them with too much attention. So number 1, what do you want me to do? Number 2, will you let me do it? Number 3, will you help me when I need it? Now this is really important because people are not like Energizer bunnies where you you just wind them up or put a new battery in and you let them go. You have to have some opportunity to help people. So in my practice of leadership, you know, I've always had an open door policy and told people, to me, the open door policy is more figurative than literal, but I'm available. Please come to me if you need some help. You know, don't waste weeks on a project because you're stuck and you're afraid to come to me. So be the kind of leader that's approachable and tell people, I will be here when you need it. I'm not going to micromanage you, but I'll be here when you need me. And number 4, the last point, is will you tell me how I'm doing? Will you let me know how I'm doing? Will you give me feedback? You know how important that is to followers? Whether it's good feedback or bad feedback. Now, I've been the kind of boss where I'd rather give people good news than bad news. Isn't that most of us? We don't want to tell people bad news. But whenever I perform an annual review or I have a meeting with a subordinate, and we're working on a project and I'm working on this point number 4, how did you do with that task, or how are you doing in your position? I will always give good feedback and bad feedback. Now, I usually do 80% positive and 20% negative. But if you never give people any negative feedback, then you're a people pleaser. And that's not healthy in leadership. We have to be honest with people and give them constructive criticism. So number 4 is, will you let me know how I'm doing? And people crave that kind of feedback. 4 questions every follower asks. What am I supposed to do? Will you let me do it? Will you help me if I need it? And will you let me know how I'm doing? Go to hansfinzel.com to check out my Leadership Answer Man podcast and other great resources for taking your leadership to the next level.